back. Another episode of Steehn versus Machine. Returning from our a little bit of a hiatus. A little bit of a we got busy. We got busy, man. We've been busy these last couple weeks. I've been out of town a bunch. I think we've been, the holidays came up and it everything. I never had free time on the weekend. So we just never got to record. So finally, we're back. People will take a look at these past couple of weeks and say, well, after your week 8 performance, we understand why you went on hiatus. But literally just because of the time, honestly.
I don't understand why we wait until the weekend to record. You give people about a 10-hour window to look at your video.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand the logic of that.
Free time again. This Thanksgiving and then Black Friday yesterday, and then.
Well, we've always done it that way.
I know. Because I'm normally busy during the week. I don't tell you, I'm a busy guy. I do a lot.
How do you get a video that should be getting 40 views, 8 views? How do you do it on Saturday night at midnight?
Absolutely. Welcome, everybody, into another episode of Steehn vs. Machine. Of course, I'm your host of the most, Truman and Machine Steehn. As always, I'm joined here by what's lead marketer over at Winners and Winers, Scott the Steamroller Steehn.
Doesn't matter what. Firmly ensconced in management is one of the premier advisory firms in the world. How about that?
There you go.
The only publicly traded advisory firm in the United States.
I didn't know you guys were publicly traded.
Yes, sir.
You got stock options?
I do.
Nice. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk a little sports gambling. Scott, we've been on a little bit of a break. We haven't picked since week 8. We don't need to rehash what happened in the week 8 games. I went 2-3. You went 1-3-1. You had the rare push. You had the Jets -3 against the Giants, and they won 13-10.
I've been picking games like somebody in the marketing department.
Yeah, because that was so. You went 1-3-1. I went 2-3. You won 100, lost 315. So you're at -215. Brings your season record. You're at -923 going into that. Now you're -215. You're at -1138. 12-22-1. But primed to make a comeback. Now you've got all the data. Now you've got a larger sample size, so you know everything. Now you know more about the NFL season. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. I've been on a personal hot streak lately.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Ever since we stopped making picks, I've been winning.
Yeah, I think I did because I make my picks every week, and I was like positive for 2 out of the 3 weeks we were off. I was like pretty positive, where I was like I would have gone like I think 4-1, 3-2, and then like 2-3. I think this last week, but doesn't matter, right? My record, I went, again, I went 2-3. I won 200. I lost 315, -115. I was at +324 going into that, -115. I'm now at +209 for the season at 19-16. Still positive, but looking to get more positive. We'll get into this week's picks, excluding, of course, Thanksgiving and the Black Friday game. So let's get into it. I'll go first just because I had
this should be called Tail the Young Guy, Fade the Old Guy.
It's a weird.
That's what this show should be called.
This year, it's not always like this.
No, it isn't.
Let's not. I don't want to portray that ever, but you certainly have beat me a lot of these years. So let's not.
That's true. And it's never too late. Just need one good week to turn it around here.
That's true. All right. So this week's picks. I'm going to start here. Let's start with 2 terrible offenses. Let's start with the New England Patriots
at the Raiders,
at the New York Giants. Yeah, right. Yeah, 2 terrible offense. Chiefs, Raiders.
Jumping ahead.
Yes. No. New England at the New York Giants under 34. You can find that at -110 at MGM and Caesars. Just 2 really terrible teams, man. Really awful. Both bad quarterback situations. What do we got? Tommy DeVito.
Touchdown, Tommy DeVito, baby.
Yeah, all of a sudden I remember like the first 3 games he had like 10 passing yards every game, and then now he scored a couple touchdowns the last couple weeks. And what is Bailey Zappi probably playing for New England this week?
No one knows. No one knows. They cut Will Greer on Saturday today. They've got Malik Cunningham on the practice squad, and They have Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi.
So it's got to be Bailey. It's got to be Bailey Zappi. I'm operating under the assumption that it will be Bailey Zappi.
That's probably where the smart money is.
I don't think it matters. I think they're both terrible, and this is a
I
terrible.
have a real soft spot for that kid. He made me a lot of money in 2 years at Western Kentucky. A shit ton of money.
Bailey
So,
Zappi.
Absolutely. I'm always going to have a soft spot in my heart. Soft spot in my heart for him.
Didn't even know he was a hilltopper like that. No.
Just like 2 years ago when we rode Chris Flexen with the Seattle Mariners. He was lost 2 games against the spread all year long. It was unbelievable.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, yeah, no quarterback. How many? If you have 3 quarterbacks, how many quarterbacks do you have?
-1. -1, I think. If 2 is 0, I think if you add another one, I think it's -1. I think you keep going.
I think that's the way that works. Well, you're the math guy, so you would know.
Yeah, that's known for being the math guy. Scott, how about your first pick for the week?
I don't know. Looking at another barn burner here. It's the Bucks and Colts as they travel to Indianapolis. The Bucks travel to Indianapolis to take on Colts. I'm gonna take the Bucks plus 2.5. Look at the rest advantage. It favors the Colts. Bucks had to play San Francisco last week. Colts got the week off. But you know what? The Bucks are going to make Gardner Minshew beat them. Colts have been able to run the ball. Jonathan Taylor last 2 weeks averages 2.8 yards per carry. Tampa Bay is not exactly the team to get your running game started against. The Bucks have not given up more than 81 yards on the ground their last 6. They've only done it twice all season. You don't put up 120, 130 yards rushing as the Colts. You're not going to win. They're not going to do it. They're not going to win. I'm going to take the Bucks. You know what? I said plus 2.5 when I sent them to you. Yeah, I'll pay the money line there. Get a little plus 118, 120, something like that. Look that up there, boy. See how my guess is. It's the only thing I've been successful at is been able to guess the money lines correctly.
Well, your Linsanity run ends here. Looks like you get it at plus 130 over at FanDuel and DraftKings. So
all right, plus 130. Sign me. Is it still 2.5?
I believe so. It was 2.5 before the show started. So
okay.
Yeah, still 2.5. Oh, it's plus. It's a what's the opposite of a juiced? It's like plus 205 at it's plus 2.5 at like minus 106. I see even money. I see even plus 3 over at PointsBet. So it's starting. Okay. It's moving that way.
Headed that direction. All right. Well, I'll take my. That's pretty chunky money line there. I'll take that plus 130.
Not bad. No, not bad.
Yeah.
Here, let me get that updated here for you. Plus 130. That's not bad. That's not bad.
And we'll get that tip out of the way that we give out every week. We'll get it out of the way early. Thinking about taking a spread. You're thinking about taking 3 points or less as with the underdog. Don't do it. Bet the money line. The math works out dramatically in your favor. And just friends don't let friends take plus 2.5.
It's true. All right. Okay. Got that updated for you. All right, we'll move on to my second pick of the week. Carolina, Tennessee, under 36.5, minus 110. Dom, have you heard this before? 2 terrible teams. 2 terrible bad quarterbacks again. 2 terrible quarterback situations. Bryce Young, at best, we'll call it underperforming as a first-round pick. Will Levis looked okay that first week, but now that the tape has been out, he has not looked as great the last couple weeks. I believe they'll continue to ride with him, maybe until it costs Mike Vrabel his job. So we'll see. Two coaches that might be on the hot seat, 2 quarterbacks that are not playing well. Yeah, give me the under in that game. Under 36.5, you can find that at any sports book at minus 110 for the Carolina Tennessee Titans game.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited about this Patriots-Giants game that I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to take the Giants at home plus the 4 points. I just don't know what a team without a quarterback is going to do. I just don't know how that's going to work. New England may not be the worst team in football, but I'm pretty sure they're not 4 points better than anybody right now. I'm gonna have to take the Giants at home there. Give me the 4 points. I'll take those 4 points.
They're not the worst team in football, but the worst team in football might be able to take the Patriots to overtime. You know what I'm saying? And that's
I think whoever loses this game could very well be the worst team in football.
Yeah,
This is
well,
this is this is pretty close to the toilet bowl. Carolina says, "Don't forget me." I get that. And Carolina is a terrible team and a terrible team against the spread. So we might
I
even get
was,
to them later.
I'll say my system
Uh,
has Carolina as the worst team in the league, as they have the worst defense and the second worst offense. So that's not great. I have the
no,
Giants.
that's not ideal stats right there.
I have New England as the second worst team and the Giants as the fourth worst team, with the third worst team being the Tennessee Titans that we already talked about.
Well, there you go. All right.
So, all right.
What's your third pick?
My third pick, Pittsburgh Cincy under 36.5 -110. You can find this on at all sports books except for DraftKings. Oh, by the way, you got your Giants +4 at -108. That was available at DraftKings as well. This one, every sports book except for DraftKings, the only one that didn't have this deal at under 36.5 at -110. Kenny Pickett, not very good. Jake Browning situation there in Cincy, dire straits. And not only that, but they're having health issues. What I believe Chase had a couple injury issues in last week's game. T. Higgins obviously didn't play. I don't think Tyler Boyd's going to be available this week. It's the sky is starting to fall just a little bit there in Cincinnati, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. So it's a bad situation. We're going to actually, sorry, Tyler Boyd is going to play. Sorry, that's my bad. I'm getting mixed up. Tyler Boyd's going to play, but still, it's a Cincy team in a tough spot. It's a Pittsburgh team that isn't very good at scoring. They're only good at winning for some reason. They fired Matt Canada, so their offensive coordinator position is in flux. That's the only thing that could screw me here is finally getting rid of Matt Canada might unlock this Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
No, it's the same position coaches underneath him. They've just been bumped up. I don't think that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, geez, it's maybe they could have the Chiefs wide receiver coach as their offensive coordinator right now. Geez, I've never seen a less confident guy in a press conference.
Who is the Chiefs wide receiver coach?
Can't remember his name, but he did not impress with the press conference. They put him in front of the mic, and he did not look great.
Is it Garrett Dieter? Is Garrett Dieter the wide receiver coach?
That would be funny. No, I would remember if it was Garrett Dieter.
Were you with me when I met Nathan Shieldhouse's dad?
No, I don't even know who Nathan Shieldhouse is.
Nathan Shieldhouse was a Rockhurst kid, and he went to Illinois to play quarterback. And now apparently he's the OC at Iowa State.
Oh, did he? I thought I had recognized that. I'd heard the name at some point.
Because they were talking to him. And somewhere I met his dad, or I met a friend of his dad, and said that the kid was going to Illinois. So anyway, I couldn't remember.
Connor Embry is the name of the wide receivers coach for the Chiefs. He was a KU wide receiver, never played in the league really much. So yeah.
Okay, well, that checks out. Although I'm not sure how much blame you can put in the wide receiver coaches because you guys can't catch.
Right, that's true. But they certainly nobody's
Correct me if
certainly
I'm wrong.
progressed this year.
By the time you get to the professional level, that should be a skill you already have as a wide receiver. How to catch a football.
You would think so. You would think so.
Yeah, I would. All right, so for my third game, again, I can't get away from this game. It's the Panthers and Titans. I'm going to take the Titans at home, lay the 3.5. Here's the deal with Tennessee. You stop the run, you stop the Titans. They've had 6 games where they've gained more than 100 yards on the ground. Their point differential for those games is plus 3.3. They've had 4 games where they've gained less than 100 yards on the ground. Point differential minus 16.2. There's a 19.5 point differential when they rush for 100 and when they don't. What's the bad news for Carolina? They can't stop the run. How many times have they held opponents to less than 100-yard rushing? 1 time. Ironically, that's the same number of times they've covered the spread this year. Give me the Tennessee Titans solidly off the podium for worst team in the league at a strong 4th or 5th place. I'll take the Titans minus 3.5.
I'm wondering if it was the same game because I assume the only game the Carolina Panthers have beat the spread is also the game where they won.
Correct.
in the
That's
upset.
the Houston game. Yes.
No, Houston still rushed for 110 in that game, so I'm kind of surprised, honestly. But
I didn't say I was going to completely tie it together.
wow, but it was pretty close. Yeah. Good. So Titans 3.5. I've got to agree with you there. I listen. It's this is the beautiful thing about sports betting and like fantasy football is that uh you can bet on terrible, terrible football games, and it gives you something to root for. If I was in the Kansas City market in my noon game, back in the day when we didn't have streaming and any of that stuff, if your noon game was Tennessee versus Carolina, and you're like, oh my god, I have to watch this. At least you could bet Titans minus 3.5 and do something with it, or cheer for it, or maybe you got Derrick Henry playing. So that's the beautiful thing about fantasy football and sports gambling is it helps just the immersion. It helps my immersion in the NFL. So now we're both rooting for stuff in this Titans Carolina game now. So that's
So let me
beautiful
ask
in a
you
way.
this:
Sure.
would you trade Travis Kelce for the right to draft Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay, I would too.
I think it's in this hypothetical situation, yes. In the real world, that's a much messier situation because, in this hypothetical situation, I don't think I have to think about Travis Kelce being upset and what that means to the city of Kansas City and all this stuff. But if I look at a pure player, Travis Kelce is on the wrong side of 30. He's a tight end. You can tell he's slowing down just a bit. He's not having as successful of a year. And Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like the cleanest wide receiver prospect we've maybe seen ever, and certainly in the last 10 years, probably,
Yeah,
coming out.
he's a good one. He's a good one. Can you imagine him and Mahomes?
Oh, oh. I think about that with every wide receiver, but especially a young. The frustrating thing is that in Andy's offense, he'd still only play 30% of the snaps of his rookie year. So, who knows?
Probably true. That's probably true.
Uh,
Okay. What's your fourth pick, buddy?
my fourth pick,
It's
Buffalo.
never going to happen. By the way, Kelsey and Mahomes are going to be legacy players in Kansas City.
Oh, for sure. Well, and here's my question to you about that real quick. Would you, for Marvin Harrison, would you do the oh my gosh, the Ditka? Would you trade away all your draft picks for one player?
No, not a wide receiver. No, not a chance.
No, you wouldn't trade away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah, I know what they are. I'm familiar with the draft order. No, I would not.
Okay, all right. Well, fair. Well, I didn't. All right. Well,
No,
I guess
you're typically going to get 2 to 3 starters out of that draft class.
that's true.
And
And the Chiefs have a couple positions. They need to go wide receiver in the first round, and then probably offensive tackle in the second round. So they've got some.
I'd be
some
okay with taking
issues.
wide receivers in all 7 rounds if they wanted to do that. That'd be okay.
Oh yeah, I'd go. I'd have no problem if they went wide receiver, tackle, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, wide receiver, like they do every year with cornerbacks,
Right.
where they draft 4 cornerbacks, and they're like, well, one of those guys will hit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Brett Veach has built incredible defense with a great secondary, but in some amount of keeping him honest, he did draft about 5 DBs a year for what felt like 5 DBs a year for like 3 or 4 years. So yeah, those 80 guys turned into 4 pretty good guys in the secondary, which is pretty nice. But sorry, my fourth pick, Buffalo Philadelphia over 48.5 at minus 110. You can find that on all but PointsBet. Listen, this is 2 pretty good offenses and 2 pretty mediocre defenses that I'm hoping, even though the Chiefs, I don't know if you can call the Chiefs a great offense anymore. I think that's the thing is like, we want to say, well, the Chiefs are a top 10 offense. Not really. And so it's one of those things where you're like, well,
not under any metrics you can find this year.
No. And the people will say, well, the Chiefs weren't able to take advantage of this Philadelphia defense. Well, they had 2 red zone turnovers and was it 6 drop balls? So I think they were a couple mistakes away from putting up 30 to 40 on this Philadelphia team. And I think Buffalo, while they are also turnover prone, who the Chiefs are tied with on the number of turnovers that they have, by the way, as much of the problems that we think about Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills being synonymous, the Chiefs had the same number of turnovers this year as the Buffalo Bills. And I think the Buffalo Bills have played an extra game than the Chiefs, by the way. But all that to say, I think Buffalo will be able to take advantage of this Philadelphia offense just enough to be able to score. And Philadelphia put up 21 on what many statistics would consider a top 5 offense in Kansas City, or top 5
Defense.
defense in Kansas City. So I believe that Philadelphia will be able to put up 25 to 30. I think Buffalo will be able to put up 25 to 30. I think we're going to be looking at a fairly high scoring game. 49 and a half. I think you can absolutely score 7 touchdowns in this game total. And I
You got
actually
48 and a half, 49 and a half.
48 and a half. I got a minus 110 all but points bet is where you can find that.
You
So
said 49 and a half. Oh, yeah. The last time you said 49 and a half. So
sorry, I made 40. It is 48 and a half is the
just
official
double
number.
checking. All
But
right.
I also, my system also has Buffalo on the money line. This won't be a pick. This won't be an official pick. But if you're looking for something a little extra, it's maybe my system is overvaluing Buffalo just a bit. It has them as a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense, which I find a little odd. But and it doesn't respect Philly either. So I think if you took all the wins, if you took the win loss column out and you took the name off of them, I think they'd look like a middle of the pack contender, and that's what we're seeing from statistics wise. So I like Buffalo over Philly also, but that's again not an official pick.
Took the Raiders +9 for my fourth pick here.
I
I'm
I
just
even got you at plus 9.5 over on FanDuel at minus 114.
this is these are two teams not completely headed in different directions, but the Chiefs have sort of stalled out. Raiders have made some changes, both with the coach and at the quarterback position. You know what? They look like a what do you call a semi-competent NFL squad, and they at 5-6, they've still got something to play for. They've won 2 of their last 3. They've covered 3 straight. We'll see what happens. Defense has been playing extremely well, giving up just 38 points over those 3-game stretch. I think the Chiefs are going to have their hands full. I really do. I think KC will be fortunate to get out of there with a win. I'm not calling for an outright Raiders victory. It wouldn't stun me. But I think the 9 points with his new look Raiders team, I think that's going to be a good play.
My only concern for you is that there is some amount that like Mahomes. I think if you look at Mahomes' entire career with the Chiefs, I don't think they've ever lost 2 in a row, or maybe like in the beginning of like 2 seasons ago, maybe they lost 2 in a row. He hasn't lost 2 in a row often, and not only have they not done that often, this season, anytime they haven't covered, they've immediately covered the next game. In fact, in every game except for after the Broncos game, they've covered at least the next 2 games. So that they get sometimes what I'm saying is when they get their bell rung, they get those wake up calls. They then turn around and start and do fix some of these problems and start to cover. That would be my only concern in this game. Also, Aiden O'Connell going against the top 5 defense in the Chiefs, a top 5 secondary, a defensive line they can get after a rookie quarterback. That is also would be a concern for me.
They're running the ball. They're running the ball. They're using Josh Jacobs again.
They're using their all
I
pro
know I
running
looked.
back.
I talked about this last week. He was averaging like 40 yards a game on the ground, and he's averaging over 90 since the coaching change. So
Interesting.
they're utilizing Josh Jacobs a lot better and a lot more. So we'll see. All right, take us home, buddy. What's your last pick?
Final pick, Baltimore Chargers, or Ravens Chargers, over 48.5 at minus 110. You find that on MGM and Caesars. Again, two really great offenses. I worry about what the Chargers can do against this Baltimore defense. But the Baltimore defense, while, they've had their games where they've allowed, teams to score a fair amount. They have a lot of shutouts against bad teams, but they will give up points to good offenses as well. So I like the Chargers and ability to score. I like the Ravens' ability to score. Over 48.5. I don't think it's I don't think it's crazy to say that 7 touchdowns to be scored in this game. I like it enough here to take it at over 48.5 at minus 110 for my 5th and final pick.
Okay, yeah, I worry about that Chargers defense being able to put up points against the second best scoring defense in the NFL, and that's why I'm going to take Baltimore, buddy. I think this is a Baltimore team. While they certainly have their flaws, and they've had some problems finishing games. At the end of the day, I still think this is the best team in the AFC right now. And the Chargers are always going to find a way to charger. I think Charger fans should enjoy this game because I think it's the beginning of the last 7 or 8 games or 6 or 7 games that they're going to see Staley coach. So enjoy it, and I think the new regime is needed because Baltimore is going to take care of business. They're used to playing in a very tough division, hanging out with the likes of the Steelers and the Browns defenses. I think this is going to be a nice breath of fresh air out there in sunny Los Angeles for the Baltimore Ravens. I think they go in there, hang a 30 burger on them, and that'll be more than enough to cover the line.
Yeah, I'm not sure this game will be the game that gets Brandon Staley fired as it's against the Ravens, but I think
no, he may. That's why I said enjoy the. He's going to. This is his stretch of the last 6 or 7 games. He's going to coach.
Oh well, I'm saying
season.
They travel to New England the next game. That could be it. If they have a super ugly, nasty game and lose to New England in New England, that could be it for Staley. Staley might be done after that.
Yeah, if they drop this one by a couple touchdowns and then lose to New England, and man, I can't imagine a worse place to get dumped in the first or second week of December than New England.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to find your own home.
Man, just sucks. As a numbers guy, Brandon Staley was a little ahead of the curve on going for it on fourth downs, especially against Mahomes. And then he just stopped. We talked about this on the podcast whenever he first started doing this. Brandon Staley was doing like he was like a guy that plays like blackjack, and he's playing sound blackjack strategy. And you're like, okay, listen, he's down right now, but he's probably going to get pretty close to going up. Or you go 49%. Right. He's not counting cards, but if you play perfect strategy, you play 49% on blackjack. And then all of a sudden he stopped hitting on 16, and you're like, more what? And then he's getting the count off, and then he loses all those, stopped hitting on 16, and then he's hitting on 18s, and you're like, dude, what's happening? He just melted down. He started to melt down. He started to go for it on his own 30 when he's leading in the game, and there's a minute and a half left, and you're like, dude, what are we? Stop. Just punt the ball. And then
he won't go for it on 4th and 1 at midfield when they're behind and shit. Yeah, it's very inconsistent.
Yeah, he stopped hitting on 16. Yeah, in that Chiefs game. That Chiefs game is a great example where he went for it on fourth down like 4 times, and he got like 2 of them, missed 2 of them, and people were roasting him for it. Then he got down to the end of the game, and they're up, and he's at like the Chiefs like 45. It's like 4th and 2, and there's like 2 minutes left, and instead he punts the ball back to Mahomes. Mahomes immediately goes down and scores and wins the game, and you're like, you moron, what are you doing? You just go for it, man.
Yep. Yeah, the dude in the high school coach in Little Rock changed the game. He changed the fucking game.
Yeah.
As people begin to learn about him and see the numbers that he ran about, that basically we spent 100 years undervaluing possessions.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole crux of his theory is you don't ever give up the ball.
Yeah, is that the guy who goes for it on fourth down and then onside kicks every kickoff?
Yep.
Was he the guy? He coached at Liberty, right? And then they
no. He went to Presbyterian. We had a run with the Presbyterian overs. Went of 10-1 that season. And we did a show. We gave it out every single week on our podcast. Every single week, take the Presbyterian over. Take the Presbyterian. And they were just crushing it. Like, it'd be 65. They'd score 110. It was not, no fear of those fucking, whatever the number was, it didn't fucking matter.
I say, was that 2021 that he was there?
Yes.
So yeah, let's a couple of these scores, by the way, because it's a great strategy where you either score a ton or the other team scores a ton because you're going for it every time. 84-43, right. 68-3, Z- 72-0 they lost. So they won 84-43, won 68-3, lost 0-72, lost 43-63, lost 30-38. That has to be the one under for the year.
I believe it was. It was like 70 or something, and we just barely missed it.
Yeah, 30-38 is the under, by the way. Next game, he lost 35-70, lost 28-69, lost 14-56, lost 55-65, lost 32-57. This is crazy. These are crazy scores. He lost his final game 15-54, and I believe then he was fired, right?
He resigned.
Yeah, that's
He's
what is
like,
that that's the Back to the Future of the Marty after hitting the guitar solo. Seems
yeah,
it's a little too early for
you're
you
not
guys, but your
you're
your
not
kids
ready
are
for
gonna
it yet,
love
but
it. Yeah,
your kids are gonna love it.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
exactly right. Yeah, and but enough people got the word, and I think they started checking his math and understanding what like Belichick went to Arkansas to see him. Like
Yeah.
4 or 5 NFL coaches went to the high school to see him.
hmm
Um, it's just have you ever looked at those scores? Did you thought I was exaggerating about
No,
those
I
fucking
no, I,
Liberty?
I remember us talking about it when that was going on in the season. You were like, dude, look at this, because we talked about the guy. We were on him. I think you were on him before a lot of people. The
Oh yes,
national guys were on him a ton,
100%,
and
100%.
and then you were like, dude, he got hired. He got hired in college ball. We're gonna be able to bet on this.
We
And
were
then
so excited. We were so excited, and you could watch most of those games on the Deuce, man.
yeah.
On the Plus.
hmm
It was a great time. I was it was a sad day when he resigned from his job. It really was. And
And
the first game, the first conference game was the best. It's like he punted like the first time he went for it from like his own 10 with 4th and 15, didn't get it. Next time like his own 20, didn't get it. It was just like this is not going to work at the college level, and the teams would just like walk right in and score. Um,
it's
but they
it's
were see. Here's the thing about Presbyterian. They were the only non-scholarship team in their conference, so they really had no shot to be competitive. And you
interesting.
talk about it that's revamping everything that they know about football. Everything you've learned, fucking forget it.
Right.
Um, but except we got to go with the old players that were already here, or the new guys you can recruit that you're going to have to pay for college to go to Presbyterian.
Right. Yeah.
So it was a tough. It was a less than ideal. I don't think it was a fair shot.
Thro-
I don't think he really got a fair shot.
just throw this guy on Andy Reid's staff. Listen, he's not gonna win a lot of the arguments, but he needs to be in the room. They need somebody that can look at this and go, "Hey, dude, Mahomes could get the 4th and 7, right?" It's
Kevin
that's
Kevin Kelly. I couldn't think of his name. I kept wanting to say Brian Kelly. That's the ex-Oregon coach. Kevin Kelly.
You say he's down in Little Rock now.
I know that's where he came from. I don't know what he's doing after he left Liberty.
Uh, let's see. No, New England College announces Kevin Kelly as new football coach.
New England College.
Yep. Let's see. Hold
When?
on.
Before this season?
August 9th, 2023.
God damn it.
No, wait. Oh, it prepares for. Oh, dude. Oh, my. The college,
Huh?
New England College prepares for its first season of football in 2024.
Oh, nice.
So we didn't miss out on. Man, I was thinking I was going to get to read another year of scores without even knowing. So in 2024, he will be back at New England College for their first football
I have
season.
never seen a line in any sports book in my life for New England College.
I don't think we'll see him. Sadly, let's see New England College football. I mean, considering they're not even like a real
What are they?
school
What are they?
yet.
Oh,
University of New England. Let's see.
what divisions? They're the Pilgrims. All right, Pilgrim.
All see. No, sorry, they're the Nor'easters.
What?
Wait, no. Sorry, I'm looking at University of New England, which apparently is different. Sorry, I'm looking at the
Yeah.
wrong college. Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad. Football returns to NEC. All right, who are they? They're going to be in the CCC.
They are. They're going to be the CCC because everything else they play is in the NECC. They're a Division 3. Uh, at least their volleyball team and their esports
Sorry,
team.
they're the GNAC, the GNAC, the Great Northeast Athletic Conference.
Okay.
Within the
Uh,
college
we're
students athletes, yeah.
we're going to need some fucking lines on these guys. We're going to need some Kevin Kelly lines.
I'll say who else is in the who else is in the GNAC that you might recognize. Hold on, and
No.
then I promise we'll let you guys go and we'll end this episode. Let's see the
Although you've
G.
had that power all along, Dorothy.
All right, GNAC member schools. Here we go. Oh, of course. Who could have forgotten Albertus Magnus College out in New Haven, Connecticut? Big fan.
Sure.
What about Anna Maria College? This is a lot of. You're gonna learn. This is a lot of specific named colleges. What about the Colby Sawyer College? Sorry, Anna Maria College was in Paxton, Massachusetts. Colby Sawyer College was in New London, New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Not only did they get the new of all the Hampshires, they also got the new of all the Londons. That's crazy. Dean College in Franklin, Massachusetts. Elms College in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Emmanuel College in Boston, Massachusetts. Johnson and Wales University in Providence.
Hey, I've heard of that one.
You've heard of Johnson and Wales University?
It's a famous hospitality university. Like many chefs, hotel managers, hotel directors. They have a great hotel management program. I've actually heard of Johnson and Wales.
Sorry. It seems they are only an associate member. Sorry. Sorry. They're probably only competing in the conference's culinary competitions.
The Johnson and Wales fighting chef's knives.
Yeah. LaSalle University, Newton.
Not listening with LaSalle.
No, do not get that confused with LaSalle. LaSalle, yes. Mitchell College out in New London, also in New London. Oh, sorry. You're not going to. There's a New London, New Hampshire, and then there is a New London, Connecticut. In case
I've heard of New London, Connecticut.
That's funny that there's two New Londons. I bet that's a huge rivalry game between Mitchell College and Colby Sawyer College. I assume they call that the New London Derby. Is good.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Pilgrims are a lot of things. Creative with their names. They ain't one of them.
No, New England College, which is in, of course, Henniker, New Hampshire. Norwich University in Northfield, Vermont. Regis College. I feel like I've heard of Regis College.
Yeah, I think so.
Rivier University.
Rivier?
Rivier.
Probably Rivier, but not the one you know.
No, yes. University.
So you got Rivier and LaSalle or LaSalle.
This is wish.com. You also have University of St. Joseph, not to be confused with St. Joseph's College of Maine. No, both those colleges.
Oh man.
The game for St. Joseph, and finally Simmons University, also in Boston's college. So there you go. A lot of sorry.
Like everyone except the one in Maine is probably like an hour bus ride away.
Yeah.
I bet their travel budget is very small.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean, most of them are in Massachusetts. There's one in Vermont. There's one in Maine. Yeah. One in New Hampshire, Connecticut. Yeah. It's got to be. They're all pretty damn close from the look of it.
You ain't taking many flights. So there you go. Everything you never wanted to know about the GNAC.
The GNAC. But most importantly, we will be watching it with great interest for New England College to watch Kevin Kelly coach football there.
Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be hilarious. I'm trying to see how old he is.
He looks old. I'm not gonna lie. He looks older. He's got 30 years of coaching experience.
Yeah, he was. He spent 18 years as a high school coach. How many games did he? How many games did he lose in 18 seasons, Truman? Any guesses?
In of college of high school football.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it! I just brought up his Twitter. I know he's a 9-time state champ. I bet he lost 20 games.
It's very close, Truman. Very close. He lost 29 games.
It's pretty good.
29,
Pretty good.
29 games in 18 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So it'll be fun to watch. We'll stay tuned, as they say, because
Yeah.
there's going to be many people petitioning sports books. Put those fucking lines up.
Yep.
All right, that'll be great. All right, very good. Anything else?
Wait, hold on. We can book him as a speaker. He apparently does speaking gigs. It's a DM if need speaker. Thinking differently.
Is he on what do you call it? Spotlight? No, where you have where you can have people record the messages.
Cameo.
Cameo. Cameo. Is he on Cameo?
Word up. No.
Hey Truman, happy birthday and quit fucking punning.
He apparently does stuff with Sharp football. He does stuff with Warren Sharp over there. So, which I could believe.
I'd say he's sharper about football than Warren ever thought about being.
Yeah, probably. All right. Okay. Finally. So there you go. There's all the answers. How about let's review our picks again real quick. Scott, I had the New England. I have New England, New York Giants under 34. Panthers, Titans under 36.5. Browns, Steelers Steelers, Bengals under 36.5. Bills, Eagles over 48.5. And Ravens, Chargers over 48. What did you have, Scott?
Truman, I've got the Bucks plus or on the money line at plus 130. I got the Giants plus 4. Got the Titans minus 3.5. I have the Raiders plus 9 in the hook. I've got the Ravens minus 3 and the New England College Pioneers over.
Over on everything. Over what? Yes. Over.
No, the Pilgrims, not the Pioneers. That's stupid. The Pilgrims.
Pilgrim. All right. There you go. We appreciate you guys for being here, especially after a little bit of hiatus, especially as we post this at midnight. So we appreciate you. I hope you guys are able to fit this in your busy schedule as you're preparing. We hope to be an integral part of your preparation for the Sunday slate of football. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Again, I've been Truman Steehn Machine Steehn. That's been Scott, the Steehn Roller Steehn. You can follow us over at Twitter, Steehn Roller, Steehn Machine. Hey, also shout out Chandler exclamation point on Spotify. We got a new song. We got a new intro outro song for Steehn vs. Machine, so that's pretty nice.
Why can't you just say Chandler instead of saying the exclamation point?
Searchability, I think, on Spotify. So
that's very good, Truman. By the way, I wanted to remind you that every year Chaminade plays in the Maui Classic.
Thank you. As I did learn that on Twitter from a bunch of people.
A little inside Twitter joke for you folks there if you follow us on Twitter.
Tough out here for a Steehn Machine. Scott, you want to say?
Take that, get out of here and go take that K-State shit off and put your Mizzou sweatshirt on, son.
Yeah, I've still got one laying around here somewhere. You want to say the line as we get out of here, Scott?
Absolutely. If you ended up tailing the kid and fading the old man, there's no doubt about it. At the end of this weekend, you're going to be picking up your winning tickets and heading back through the window.
All righty. Thank you. See you guys next week. Hopefully next week. I guess we'll do that. No guarantees at this point. See you guys.